Hey guys, I had my YG audition in London yesterday, and loads of people have been asking me questions about how it went and what I had to do. So I thought I'd just talk about it briefly. Um, Before my audition, I watched people's experiences for JYP and SM Entertainment, and to be honest, the audition process yesterday was exactly the same from what I'd heard from these videos. So nothing really surprised me. Um, I would advise you to hand in your application form early. I handed mine in on the last day of application, so my audition time wasn't until 4. Me and my friend arrived at 3 and we didn't really sing until 6:45. So even if you hand in your application form and they give you an audition time of 2, you can get there at 3:30 and there'll be still 2 o'clock people going in. Like, they really don't run at the right time. I guess there's just lots of people, so get your form in early. Also remember to fill it out properly. There were some girls in front of us who didn't put a photo on their application form, and they had to go away and take one and find somewhere to print it off because they weren't allowed in. You also have to bring ID. I bought a passport. Some people had ID cards. Yeah, you have to remember those things, otherwise they're not going to let you in. Other than the fact that you have to be between 11 and 19, I think, there aren't regulations as to anything else. As to whether you have to be Asian or not, I say regardless of what nationality you are or where you're from, you should apply. But I would be lying if I said that there was an equal of Asian to non-Asian. I'd say there was 90% Asian, 10% non-Asian. There was also, from what I could see, much more girls than boys. In terms of what song you should sing, almost everybody I talked to was singing in English. There were a few people who were singing Korean, but they were Korean themselves. I personally chose a Chinese song and I sang it partly in Chinese, partly in English. I don't really think it matters what song you sing, to be honest, or what language you sing it in. So I would go from the language that you're most fluent in. The guy who was auditioning us didn't speak English, but it's not really about the song you sing, it's about how you sing it and whether they think you have potential. So for singing or dancing, it doesn't really matter what you're doing it to, as long as they think that you have some kind of talent. So we got there at 3 and we queued up for about 3 hours. I would eat something beforehand because we were so hungry and we really needed the loo. So we queued for about 3 hours and eventually we got in and you're given a number. And you go to a waiting room and you wait. And I was number 337, my friend was 338. You're called up in groups of 10 and then you wait. We waited some more and then you go to another part where you're waiting right outside the audition room. I'd heard about this happening and people had said that it was quite nerve-wracking, but to be honest, I had been waiting for 3 hours by then and I just wanted to hurry up and sing. So you go in and there's a row of chairs along a wall and a guy sitting at a desk. Behind him was a woman with operating the camera. There was another woman who sat at the side writing stuff. I'm not really sure what she was writing, but she was writing stuff. And there was another woman who told us all to sit down. I think she was the only one who spoke English. She told us not to introduce ourselves, so you don't have to think about introducing your act or whatever. You literally go in front of a tape and one by one you do sing or dance. Regardless of where you are, he will stop you at around 30 seconds. Like, there was this girl who was singing and rapping. She was in the middle of it and he just said stop. So I would choose a part of your song or a part of your dance which you think is the best and time it beforehand and make sure that you're doing a bit that you think showcases your talent the best, because he will stop you after around 30 seconds, regardless of where you are. Once you've auditioned, they told you to leave the room. So I was number 337. By the time I auditioned, there were only 3 other auditionees still waiting, listening to me. So I guess it was most nerve-wracking for the first person. People forget their words, people muck up their dance. Like, I can't count how many people came out of there and said, oh my god, I mucked up. But I don't think, I don't really know what I was going with that. But basically what I'm saying is not everyone who goes is perfect, and not everyone's audition is perfect. You don't have to be the world's best singer, and you don't have to be the world's best dancer. I think the experience on a whole was fun. Sure, we waited for a hell of a long time just for 30 seconds, but the actual experience was really fun. When you're in the queue, you get to talk to loads of people, and it's just a fun experience. The guy who was auditioning was quite intimidating. He just kind of sits there and flicks through your papers and tells you to stop. But the audition in itself was good. It's a long day. I would bring food with you, otherwise you're going to get hungry. And just enjoy it. If you have any questions, I will put a link to my Tumblr below, because that's where I generally answer. If you don't have Tumblr, you can ask me anonymously, or you can just message me on here, but I'm more likely to reply on Tumblr. I don't really think there's anything more to say. I've talked about song, I've talked about who went. Yeah, just enjoy it. Yeah, it's a really fun experience, so you should go, and I hope this has been helpful to anyone, and I will see you guys later. 안녕.